Okay, it looks like we're live, so welcome back. Today I'm going to be continuing to work on the social media platform that I've been building. So the idea is, I'll just do a brief overview before I get into it, just in case. The idea is it's going to be similar to Twitter, basically a Twitter clone. I'll have some stuff to differentiate it later. And it's not web-based, right? So you won't go to a website and use it. Theoretically, I could add that, which I probably will eventually. But the main way you'll be using it is through a TUI, right, in the terminal. So it's like you launch the program, and then it creates a client, right? The instance, the TUI instance, and then you'll connect to the server and interact with it from there. So that's the idea behind it, right here. I'll put the link in the chat and I'll put it in the YouTube when that goes out. Okay, so today I'm going to be working on the client part, so the TUI, right, as the title would suggest. So this needs to be moved into a library, basically, which I'll probably get to that today. But first, I want to get invested, not invested. What's the word? Get familiar with Bubble Tea, which is the TUI software that I'll be using, the TUI library rather. Bubble Tea. So I think we have to do something like go get Bubble Tea, except we have to put all this, right? So it's called Bubble Tea. I haven't used it before. I know some people who have, and I think it's, I don't know actually that is. A lot of people I've seen have liked it, and some people haven't liked it. But it's Stan, right? He doesn't like Go in general. So, all right. So I think we've installed it. That's a lot of stuff. I only asked for the one thing, which I don't like. But irregardless, it's fine. You know, it's kind of expected with a whole library like this. Bro, how you doing, Stan? Bro. Okay. Let's see. How do we initialize this? So you can import it. You were going to fall asleep early. Well, sorry, man. It's over. It's over for you. Well, it's all right if you miss it, of course. Miss the stream. So let's do TUI.go, which will just be part of the client package. Let's see. Maybe I'll just write it in here. I'm not going to call these yet. I'm just going to make the TUI part first. Just so I don't have to handle the packaging and things like that just yet. So the func main is where we'll initialize it. Well, let's add this bubble T. We'll import it as T, sure, if that's what they suggest. So no public execution. Well, yes, obviously you're still getting that, but I won't be carrying it out. I'll have prod do that. Okay, so model, store application state, choices. Okay, cursor, to-do list. Okay, I won't get to that yet. How do I just initialize it? Sus solution. So init. Okay, it can takes a model, update. So this is like the main loop, right? Came up with an AI. It checks if the message was written by Dr. Max and deletes it. Whoa, that is genius. High IQ. View method. Okay. Let's see. So what if we make this the init without the model? Is that allowed? I believe so. So right now it's going to return nothing. I don't know that we need that actually exactly. Update. I don't want to do that yet. How do I just start it with an empty thing? New program. Ooh, okay. Let me see. Can I just run that? Genius. T new program. I haven't used this before, so bear with me. I don't know what I need to pass it, so we'll come back to that. I'll probably look at the function signature. Here, key.run. Right, so it's just checking for the error, that's fine. I won't do it like that because I haven't done it like that anywhere else. So we'll just do p.run. And I want to see if it succeeds. I don't have to put that. Whoops. Actually, let me do this. Client.go. Okay. Go run. Bubble Tea is really decent. Wow, really decent. Quite the compliment. Not enough arguments to that. Okay, that makes sense. So we need to pass t dot model. So where is initial model? Where is that declared at actually? Because there was init, but not initial model. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So model, right? But what if I pass? It's not a pointer, right? So I'm just passing it. So that will not work. Mm, right. Oh, now let's try. Did some yoga today. W stretching. We'll just have this. Just have something. And then return model with 0. Okay, so that's why we need the init. Okay, that makes sense. And then, but this doesn't call the init. So, hello, how you doing? Reference to banana bread? I don't know what that is. Not familiar. Right, I don't think the update's necessary, right? I just want the basic thing. Initial model. Okay, Stan. Interesting. So let me see. Model. Right, I'll just copy this. And we don't have either of these. Cursor 0. Right, I don't think this will fix it, but initial model with no argument. Unexpected new line. Oh, do you have to put a comma? Oh, yes, you do. Okay. Interesting. How's our meetup in New Hampshire? Well, that's not till February, so we've got some time. We've got some time. That's that. Okay, so that doesn't work. So how do we do that? This is the same. Says it can be any type. So maybe I should read this. We define init method. Init can return CMD that would perform some initial IO. Don't need to do any of that. Okay. And does it get called in one of these? Initial model. Bubble T and basic data. Let me just see if I can find. See, just empty. Flashbang. Bubble T. Okay. What is this new simple page function? Okay, so it's like this, return that. Okay, so it's like the same thing, right? Push-ups. Okay, how many is that supposed to? I think it's 10. 10 push-ups. Just ask AI. Nah, bro, what the heck? AI in 2025? 10 push-ups. Could you see it? You're starting to work out. I do already. But we have push-ups just as a fun thing. What is AI? Yes, exactly. I was wondering the same thing. I'm not familiar. Okay. Turn nil. Okay, that's what we do now. View. So do we need a view function? Is that what the issue is? View and update. Actually Indian? Is this real? Let me just copy all of this. Well, I don't really want to copy it. I don't like doing that. Always Indian. Really? That's interesting. Initial model. Okay. view. So let's just make a view function then. What if I don't want anything though? All right, so it just returns text. So I'll just return an empty string. I have to name it view. All right, so that's how you define a method, I think, right? That's what that means. I believe so. Which actually, since it's not used, is it going to cause issues? S, what is this? Is this a... It takes a message. Okay, when you handle it, I guess. Return S. Okay, M in this case. So what if we don't handle that at all? Is it going to cause like unused variable? Not enough return values. Oh yeah, so we have to return a nil as well for now. Okay, so now it actually ran. Oh shoot, I can't quit. So there we go. Fix that. 171 kilograms when you're 14. Went to the gym, made it to 149. W, and gained some weight again. And now you're on a plateau where you can't lose weight. And what are you doing for diet, right? 14, and that was years ago. Yeah, many years for you. You know, like 2 years. I have to convert that to pounds because I'm not familiar. Okay, that's actually um yeah. So like, what do you do for the diet and stuff? Do you have any set thing, or you just sort of like eat less? Mm-hmm. Not kilograms. Okay, I thought that was a lot. See, that's more reasonable. That makes more sense. I didn't want to say anything though, because I don't want to be rude, of course. Okay, so view, so what did we just return? Hello. And now we have to handle, so is this why, okay, so that's why they handle this, that makes sense. So yeah, switch over message type. So is this some sort of cast thing? Message. Okay, so this is if it's a key, and then you switch again, message, so converting it to a string. And if it's control plus C, then return equivalent. Okay, cool. So that makes sense so far. Guinness record. Mm-hmm. How tall are you, Sting? What you just give us an XP set. Okay. It should quit now if I run this. Inspected S. Oh yeah, because it's M. Well, I can't copy and paste. Alright, I think I have enough information that I don't need to do that now. So let's try that. Let me M. Why is there no? Oh shoot. Turn. There we go. Hello world, and if we quit, it quits. Alright, perfect. Uh we need to 5.8 feet. Okay. Bit more already. Okay. I don't need that. So just run it, and there is going to be an error here. So what else does this return? I forgot. I think it's just error. So let's press. And if error null, then we'll just this did not start to, which should be good enough error message for now. It does return two. Oh, this is start, not run. What's the difference? I'm not sure, but they use run here, so don't eat McDonald's. See error. All right, so I don't know what the other values that it returns. Let me actually look. I go here and we have like, how do you find it? You just do bubble T01. I want to find the doc page. Yeah, this one. There we go. Okay, and what is it called? Run. Go. Okay, so it returns a model. Do we need that? Not at the moment. So we'll ignore it. And live is not defined. We have to import that. Been boxing for a long time, and now you're doing CrossFit, yoga, cycling. Cycling is great. It is good to do some amount of weight training as well. You know, just for when you lose weight, you don't want to lose all your muscle too and then look sick, right? 400 calories easily. That's good. That's good. A lot of those things are inaccurate though. The calorie tracking on, you know, anything, right? If it's on a watch or if it's on the screen, whatever it's called. Don't want to look like a rug. Yeah. Let's see. So where do we want to go from here? I want to write. Let me actually go back to the example here. I want to write to the screen. Let's see, what do they do here? So I want to clear the screen. How do you do that? There. You don't lift anything at all, only cardio. Yeah. I wasn't doing a lot of cardio for a long time, but now I'm trying to do, what is it, 150 minutes a week? Clear screen. Okay. Just because I want to be healthy. But yeah, like for weight loss and stuff, cardio doesn't matter that much, really. Like it burns so little compared. Like I think it's still helpful, but it really the main thing is having the diet locked in. Yes, I do go to the gym. Yeah, it's mostly about diet, exactly. Yeah, like if your diet's not dialed in, but you're doing a bunch of cardio, unless you're doing like a lot, 5 hours a day or whatever. Like even you see these people like um what is it, construction workers or whatever, they're doing a lot of stuff all day moving around, but you still see a lot of them are fat because they just don't eat right. Right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for clear screen. Clear screen. Okay, that's part of message. So we have a message here. I don't think this would work, but we can try that. I would guess it will not though. Okay, so it's not T dot. Well, what is that? 80% time and 20% working down is true. Yeah. Hey Penguin, how you doing? Mm-hmm. But I don't know if this is a method, but we can try it. Mm-hmm. Need a type assertion. Okay, so maybe that's not right. Not sure. To do without external libs? Yeah, usually I do that, but I did want to try out this library, so I thought might as well use it. Jagger has a workout he's been doing for a very long time. He doesn't smoke, he quit drugs. That's good. And now look at his voice at the age of 82. He sounds the same as when he was in his 20s. W? Ooh, okay. Ooh, C23. I haven't used that yet, so I would probably like to. Move it over to this window. Very nice. And C. Still working on it? Okay, yeah. Just the first one, but that's cool. Very nice. I'll drop a star on that. W. X11 client library. Nice. Very nice. This returns a message. Ooh, okay. So can I call it like that? All right, so that you can call. So how do I return this? Fix that. That's not where you return it at. Uncommitted. Okay, so it's just empty right now. Okay. Lady in the gym who exclusively does stretching, and she's so fat that she's okay. Mostly lying on the floor, and her favorite part of the workout is when the coach says, relax your body and let it go. Yeah. A lot of people like to feel like they're doing something, right? How do you actually call it? I don't understand. No. Right. Get wedded by city. Yeah, we don't need the fake API right now. Update view. Okay, so this is just defining the functions. Extremely. Okay. Hmm. There's a lot of people. Like, I don't know if the US is the worst, but in the United States, most people are overweight at least. It's like 70% of people or something. So, kind of used to seeing that. Update logic. Okay, well, I'll get used to it. If it's no good, then I'll just make my own. I'm not committed. Render. Hmm. Go to the update. Well, update. So view. What is that? View is here. That's the header. Right over that. Uh-huh. Let's look at an example and see. So this one, okay, it doesn't. I want it to clear the screen because I want it to look like Vim, kind of interface. There won't be numbers here. Well, there might be, but for the post number, right? But I want to take the whole screen, right? How do you do that? Do any of these do that? Okay, full screen. Let's do that. Cool example. How do I? Maybe I could have just pressed on that. Full screen. Perfect. Hilarious because while it's true, a large chunk of the American population is overweight. You've never seen an overweight American. Really? You mean like online you haven't seen? What? Okay. So return tick. That's fine. Well, go update. Let's see. Okay, I don't like view does that. What is the full screen coming? Is there a main function here? Oh, it's right here. I can't read. With alt screen. Do we have to pass that? That works then. It's good enough. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted. And then I can write to the screen. And we can do things. And track the cursor and everything. Maybe on YouTube you have seen these classic McDonald's enjoyers, but among your friends and acquaintances, no. Interesting. Well, maybe it's just like, well, I don't know actually. Like I was gonna say, maybe the people that you associate with are more intelligent, but a lot of smart people don't take care of their health at all. So kind of went out the window. Okay, so that's good. So now we can clear the screen. Hmm. So that's good. So that's how I want it. So it's a full screen application. Allergy towards fat, perhaps. Okay, quit. So what other keys could we have? Really, this handles all of them, right? So, or this would support all of those. So let's add a case for, so if we press W, so what would return, what would we, oh, we could update the model. Okay, then return, really don't have to change any of the return. I think we need a break here, but we can set m dot cursor plus plus, right? We'll do x, right? And then we'll print the current. print the cursor, and it should iterate. M dot cursor. What? Why is this? M model doesn't have. I don't think plus plus exists, does it? But I don't think that's the issue. I can't spell. That's what the issue is. Nice though. Yeah. That doesn't. X. Okay, there we go. So we can iterate that. So what we need to do is loop over. We have to get the data, and it'll be an array of posts. And then we need to loop over and display each post, essentially. How can we move? Really, we don't need that. So the user is never, the cursor is always going to be down here, and it'll look like Vim, you know, we have this going on. And I don't think we ever need a focus anywhere else. So that's all that we need. So maybe I should implement that. Enough about weight. Yeah. So let's do something like this. Well, we don't even need the user to press that. We just want it to be displayed all the time. So if we print this, how can we ensure we print at the bottom of the screen? Let me see if there is another example that we can take a look at. Let's look at this. So how do they display the press any key to exit? Oops, whoops. Not quitting. So it just adds a bunch of new lines. Is that what it is? Ooh, help style. What is that? What is that? Where does that come from? Lip gloss. Ooh, so this is some. That's a supporting thing. I don't want to use that. So hopefully I don't have to. RMS. Who is that? I don't know. I do not understand. What else? Can we get bubble tea? Get screen size. The new guy? Oh, Richard Stallman? Stallman? Is his middle name M? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I haven't seen him called that before, so. Window size message in the update function. Okay. In here, report. So Theo full stack. Well, it's made by the same developer, it looked like. Well, it was the same GitHub, I think. So if lip gloss is, then so is bubble tea, right? Interesting. Resizing. Okay. Window size message. How do we get this? Is this part of the message? What are the different types of messages? Let's see. Do we have this? So where is key message? What's key message? Okay. Do we have another type? Focus message? Well, I don't know what it would be. Window size. Okay, is that the type? Window size message dot window size. Line. See, well, I don't know if that is going to print that actually. Nothing window size. It's here though. And that returns a command, so we can. You had probably use it for you. You didn't even try. Yes, that's okay though. Makes it more entertaining, right? There's okay via a window size message. Speak to me. How do I see this? Okay, what if we just print this out? I don't know that it's gonna print, like I said. Yeah. I'm gonna start TUI. P.message is oh okay, because it was not that. So we can do that here. Case t dot window size message. then we want to print it out. Or return it at least. What if we have in the model, we'll store width and height. Yeah, yeah, as an int, just like that. Which I could just use this struct as well. Literally rip, what happened? Should I do that? Window size message. This is window. I don't know that I want to store it like that actually. Yeah, we'll just have the width and height. We'll use ints because that's what they're using. So in that case, we will set m.width equals to message dot window size message dot width and height. And we'll print that out, right? So we'll have cursor. Whoops, I messed all that up. There we go. Wonder if there are any decent Go AI libs. Nothing outstanding. In what way? Like, what kind of library do you mean? Like an interface to interact with the OpenAI API, or for training? I'm guessing you probably mean training. Like cursor with I don't do a lot of AI stuff, so training, yeah. Okay. And dot with and height. I'm not sure. Maybe you could make one. Okay, width and height. So I'm gonna guess that that is correct. Well, okay. It looked like it was probably about right. So totally implementable, but probably GC would. Okay, that's fair. The Rust burn framework is so much nicer than TensorFlow or PyTorch. Can't even imagine. Well, I haven't used it, so of course I can. Burn Rust. Burn.dev. Whoa. Wow. Get started. No, what? Book? Okay. Like docs, basically. Install Rust? Okay. Create a Rust application? Okay. Add the dependency? Okay. Website is pretty cool. Okay, cool. Burn. How do I just see an example? I guess it's probably in the book. Go back. Training. Okay. And what makes it good? Don't have to install anything. Just a great. Well, that's what most of it is, right? Is it great? Most Rust things. Samples in the repo. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna look. I don't know much about that, so I'm not gonna look for right now. Okay, so we can get that and all that. So then, if we just loop over the height, right? S string, and we'll do. So you can start out by doing s equals this, and then for I in range of height, we'll just s plus equals a new one and return s. And at the end, we'll do. I don't know that. I think it's going to be one under, but we'll try it. Undefined height. Yeah, we have to do this. Let's see, because TensorFlow is a mess. Okay, I haven't used TensorFlow. I have used PyTorch, but I don't remember anything. TensorFlow in the art repo, and then there's a pip variation. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So you mean comparing it to that. But not use I variables. Actually, I don't know that we can do that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So it's right at the bottom. Perfect. It did not print the top out though. So it might have actually been 2 minutes. Height -1. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, we have to do -1, of course. You recorded? I did. Okay, well I don't remember. That was like a long time ago. Yeah, I don't remember using it at all. I remember using PyTorch because that was more recent. But I never could get into the AI stuff. All right, so here's where it is. So this is where the user will be typed. So it's going to be a colon, I think, just like that. I think that looks okay. We do need to display the blinking cursor. So how do we do that? One could 7 years, yeah. So I don't remember any of that, and it was only for a short period of time that I would have used it. So bubble T, wonder display cursor. Is there? I wonder if there's one in the examples here. Wait, because it shows the cursor here. Let's go to the simplest example that shows that. All right, this one does. So initial model. Let's see. Cursor line. Okay, so it uses the lip gloss thing, and I don't want to use that. So I wonder if there's another way. Display cursor. What is all this? Huh. TensorFlow is closely tied to Google. Yes, of course. Burn is independent, and TensorFlow is primarily based on Python, but it's actually a binding to C++. Right, yeah, well, most of them are, right? Rust Burn is native Rust. CUDA, right. What about TinyGrad? I think that's what it's called. This is supposed to be like PyTorch? Yeah, I've started. Have you used this? I don't know that it calls to, I don't remember how it works. I don't know if it's like, it's probably just C or C++ code, really, right? That it calls to, but I'm not sure. It's Python, obviously, so not Rust, so you won't like it as much, but still. What if we display this as the thing? And then we'll just display the user's message in here. Never seen, but looks cool. Yeah. So, and we'll just put the user's message in here, which will be part of the model. Well, yeah, so we'll have that text string m dot text. And you don't have a way to update it now, but it should just, yeah, displays nothing. Could not start to it. Why did we get this? Key not. Oh, shoot, because I still have this here. Okay. I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, and now it doesn't. Good, good, good. What is it called? TinyGrad. Here, I'll get the link. TinyGrad. Okay, mouse event. Yeah. I'm not going to do any mouse stuff because I don't think it'll be needed. Maybe in the future there could be a mouse thing so you can click and go in, but for now it'll just be like command based. All with the keyboard. So this, yeah, that's really not needed. A cursor. Well, we need a cursor going this way. Just like this, you know. This would be all they can do. So let's make it anything else. We just add the message to it. To the, yeah, we'll do, this will just be a very basic part of it right now, but let's also make this, I think it just defaults to 0, so we don't have to do that, but we want the text to just be like this. So m.text plus equals message dot t message dot string. There we go, and now we can type in this. That's cool. Type whatever. So the idea, like wait, the idea would be something like we're displaying a post here, and then another post here, and there will be numbers, you know, so 1, 2, 3, or whatever. You press 1 and then enter, which enter just does that for now, I guess. Obviously. Then it will open the post, and then you can comment on it. I can't go backspace. So you can comment, so you would type something like comment. When you're inside a post, you would do this, and you can add a comment, or from the top level, you would do something like one, you know, whatever post you see there. Super neat and clean framework for AI by Hugging Face. Really? Candle. Pure Rust. Let's see. Candle Rust. Candle, there we go. Cool. I didn't know Rust had a lot of AI stuff. I've seen all the Python stuff, obviously, and I knew a lot of that was calling to C, C++ backend. Um, but I didn't know about Rust. And it's fast? Well, of course. Of course. Alright, so that's the idea with that. Let's just do maybe some mock data now, just to have. Should I do that or just call it a server? Hmm. Right. I'm thinking about how the post would work. So you'd have the number, which is the post. I guess we could use the post ID for that, or we'll see. Or because that might get really long. If there was 50,000 posts, and the post ID would be 50,000, and you got to type all that out. So I don't know. Maybe it'll just be based on the screen. We'll see. So the post number, however that's calculated, and then the user, the post author, the username, and then directly below that is where. So let me actually just make an example here. So one, and then by color coding, and let's have a new line there, and then the post content. So this is a post. Something like this. Let me see how that looks. Whoops, you cannot do that. Less equals. Okay, and that doesn't work. Can't have all this data. So post, so it did not add, we didn't add any line here. Yes, you have to subtract one for each line that we already have. So that'll be handled later. Okay. And actually we have two lines here, so we have to do that. Okay. One copy coding. So it'll look something like this, and then the post could be several lines. It turns out Rust is really good for AI. I did not know that. So it could be several lines. So I'm not sure what the character limit will be yet. I'm gonna have one like how Twitter kind of has now and used to have for a long time. Rust is the optimal option because it's fast and you're actually using the language that it's written in instead of Python. Something like this. I don't know about the colon. Maybe see if the dot look better. Doesn't matter too much. Yeah, maybe the dot. Code so whatever the username is, and then we could have many of those. So can you just subtract the new line of S? For I wonder if there might be a built-in function to get this, but why not use web? What do you mean? For this? Is that what you mean? For C in X. How do you do that? Range of S. C equals line. Count equals 0. Plus equals 1. Can you do plus count? I don't know if that exists. This is not right. Okay. Minimal 4chan type font, a white background. Well, I don't want a white background, and I want it to be in the terminal. So so this will return an int. I do uint. Okay, yeah, we'll just do int. Okay. And it did not work, which is interesting. So, Twitch going to be decentralized. No. No, it will not be. And I went over why, but I'm not going over it again. So, what if I want to have the new line now just to see it, so I'll do this. I need like a debug file. Line count of X. So it did not work, it would seem. Choice is based on an anonymous network. No, I don't want to do that. So I want it to be centralized, I thought about doing that, but then I decided I don't want it. Okay, so 1. So that doesn't work. It's always going to be at least 1, so we could consider that. for nobody to track down the JS haters. Well, we do want to track them down. That's the problem. Is there a built-in function for this? Room count in string. Okay, let's try that instead. Well, so I forgot how to call it rooms instead of characters. And we can just get rid of this. I should just look at it first. That's 8 packages. Okay, what's it called? Unicode. Okay, so that's better. Almost. So now it doesn't allow for this. Is it because this recalculates this every time? Golang is really popular in cryptography and security because of its abundance of hash functions that are built in and stuff. Yeah, it's got like a good standard library. So it's like good for web stuff and networking in general. And then cryptography, like you say. Yes, indeed, for sure. Oh, I didn't actually add the room. How do you do that? I forgot about that important part. Oh, okay. I should have read through. I wasn't even thinking. This I don't think is the right thing because runes are irregular characters, so that's why it does this. That's not what I want. Okay, that's not gonna work. We'll just forget it for now and I'll do it. So that's 1, 2, 2, 4, 5. My apologies for being stupid. Okay, and it doesn't work because I need a new line for each one here. That means it's 1 extra. Okay, and I think I want 1 space between each post as well. So I'm just hard coding it for now. But what is your Twitter recreational programming repo? Oh yeah, that is this. So the TUI is going to be for that, which I don't have any of the TUI part committed yet. I'm working on the TUI, and then I'm going to finish the API basically to interact with the server, which the server exists now. It's not complete, obviously, but still working enough. Okay. Yeah, so that's not how you do that. So I need to have so we need an extra new line for each one. Okay. And then we can add to here. There we go. And I think that looks better. You know, if they're separated, so that way you can read it easier. Or Twix for short. Yes, of course. So we'll number it properly. So we'd get like an array of these. Maybe it will be, well, it'll be an array of the objects, which we'll discuss that. And we'll just loop over it and print it out in something like this format. And then, of course, we just have this at the bottom, which we can type into, type whatever. Okay, so that's most of the, we don't really need this top thing anymore. That was just the debug. I'm gonna find S. Something like that. I don't think I need a space at the top. The illusion of the name. What do you mean? The candy? Something like that. And then supposed to. Understand. Very nice. Okay, something like that. Which the authors aren't even stored right now because there's no idea of a user. Lol, is that what you meant? Twix? Candy. I didn't name it after the candy really. It's supposed to be like Twitter and X basically, I guess. Is kind of where it came from. There was a cycle in my mind while coming up with the name. Okay, and I ended on that. And part of it is because it is a candy, right? So it's a name that I'm familiar with. Because it's pretty popular here, at least. Okay. What else do we need? So for this, of course, we need that, which I need to get the API working first. Is there anything else? Suppose we could add this. So the cursor will be the position in here, right? So we iterate the cursor whenever we type anything. So now can we just do this and it can be cursor plus plus, right? Right there. I'm expecting name. What happened? What did I do? Oh, well, this isn't. Hang on. I think I have made a mistake here of sorts. Well, no. So what is switch over the key? Why does it go all the way to here? That's not right. I don't know how that happened. Still doesn't work, but maybe 6, which is this function main. Is there mismatch? Yes. Okay, there is mismatch brackets now. Okay, I must have accidentally deleted bracket, which has caused this issue. So that is supposed to be here. Okay, does that fix it? Cursor is undefined, of course, because it's M not cursor. I think everyone knows what Twix is, but who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I depends. Okay. So I do want to print out the cursor again, so I'm going to do that again. Because actually that is useful. Cursor. Just one line. One dot cursor. There we go. We'll just add one here. Unbelievably curious about the progress of shard C. Oh man, I kind of completely forgot about that. So they have they done anything recently? Let me find it again. Find the project. Do you have a link to it? Because I have lost it. I forgot about that, to be honest. What is it? 71? Yes. Okay, and if we type, it iterates that. So now backspace would of course delete it, and we'll have the arrow keys, but I won't implement that yet. I think with the backspace will be quite easy. So it's backspace. Then we want to do m.cursor minus minus, and we want to just shorten the length of the string. Can we just do that? X.length. I don't think that is move from string trim, right? But is there, can you just change the length? Not replace. That's therapy. You have to do all this? Trim right. Just want to trim all of it. Any character. No, no. Well, is it like this? I don't think so. Okay. I'm just basically posting GIFs, really. Have they, so they haven't done anything with the project at all? Besides that. Okay, really we need to do something like this. So that kind of work. So the size is n dot x dot. No, it's rather the length of this. Truth be told, I think I kind of bogged them down for a period of time. Barely any progress compared. Okay, yeah. A lot of times that happens, though. I'm sure they'll come back eventually, right? S, which is not correct, it's n dot text. Okay, and then we just need to decrement the cursor. Size is greater than 0. Okay, backspace did not. Oh, do I need to break? Could be, yeah. No. What? Slab, the lead arrogant developer, somehow had so much time for development, he spent days on the server, ordered pizza, played guitar and breaks. I'm familiar with Anthony, right? Space. Ooh, so it does do that, but then it still adds the character. Ooh, because we break out. Okay. So this needs to not happen. So yeah, we'll just add this as the default case, which makes sense. There we go. Okay, backspace, and we can write to it. There. And that's kind of like the cursor. Maybe it was a student received funding from the uni? Perhaps. I don't know. And then we need enter, of course, but that won't work yet, so I think I'll handle it though, because I want to handle all those things. Enter. And for now, we'll just do nothing. Well, maybe we'll clear it, right? What if we set the n dot text equals nothing? Yeah, there we go. So it looks like it's doing something, but it doesn't. Crazy how these two circles of carb coding and shard C overlap, because you're essentially the only bridge slash shortcut. Yeah, well, I mean, Anthony, he was a chatter for a little bit. So I heard about it from him. That was a while ago. Because I did like one Rust stream or whatever, and then he watched it. And I haven't done one in a long time since then. Of course, as you know, I'm sure. I was never that big into it though. And I did a handful, I guess it was more than one. So this can still go over the boundary, which is not good. But we'll handle that later. He's lefty, but he's actually a good programmer. Yeah. Ooh, okay, so that was interesting. So why was it? So obviously it can go less than that, which we don't want. So we want this, and then otherwise we do different. So it could be backspace there, it won't do anything. It still lets us. Okay. Why is that? Because I pressed it fast enough, or what is that about? Um, shouldn't do that. I don't know why. Okay, now it's not, so I don't know. And then it did, so I'm not sure what that's about. Like he threw me in the dumpster because you weren't able to adapt to a code base with tons of code written by people who known each other's names for years. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm realizing maybe this should just be cursor, because it should align. And if it doesn't, then there's an issue, right? We could even do this. Okay, it doesn't let me do that, but I can do that. I had to recommend a programmer from Poland. He'd be a solid option. Oh, I didn't know he was from Poland. Okay, so it should all be aligned. Type things. Deleted a lot at one time there. Seems to work. It's good enough, at least for now. This should be cursor. Did Lex Friedman really say that? Wow. Cursor. You can't even say cursor anymore without people thinking about AI. It's over. Okay. So we have that. Enter doesn't really do anything, but what else? English is perfect as well. I don't know that I've heard him talk. Maybe I have. I don't remember. European twist isn't even recognizable. Enter needs to reset it. So I think that's what the issue was. There we go. Okay. So that works. I'll leave that there just for debug for now. It's like I'm making Kano all over again. Let me maybe do a commit for this, even though it's not done. But sure, basic, basic TUI not connected with server yet. Okay, bam, push it. Very nice. His admiration. What are your thoughts on 6, 7? Kind of a dead meme now at this point, right? It's been like 2 months, a month and a half, something like that. It's over, right? Mm, yeah, I've got younger brothers, and they do that a lot. It's cooked, burnt, and dished. True, very true. So that's pretty good. So this is easy enough to use. Pretty good. If you think more complex stuff, it might start to get a little complicated, but I don't need, for what I'm envisioning now, it works. Bro didn't even know about it? Bro, what? What are your thoughts on thoughts? I haven't got a lot of thoughts on it. It's a good question, though. Rather good question. Okay, initial model, which will have more information in the model because we'll store some sort of token that authenticates the user once we have authentication, which there isn't now, of course, but when there is, right? So we need to improve the client library, and then we'll just call to that throughout here. So instead of doing this, we'll just get the feed on a certain page, and we'll just display that, loop over the post. Last meme you know about is Italian airplane. Oh, the Italian brain rot. This one. That's one. Yeah, what's the other one? Italian Berber. Oh, nothing. Yes, of course, this one, you can't forget about that one. What? I feel like it's kind of dead now, right? It was a while ago. This is like yeah, I remember Despacito. I remember 2016 memes. That's really when I started getting into the internet or whatever. And there was a lot of memes from then. 2016, 2017. Berber. Yeah. This is the one I'm most familiar with, the Tung 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 Shuffle. Oh yeah, and there's like the crocodile one, crocodilo bomb and something, like bombing crocodile. Ugly in an endearing way. Okay, what is this? Let me preview this in over here. I want to make sure it's nothing bad. Funniest. Okay, AI generated videos. What are we doing? I guess that's what the Italian brain rot is, but and I don't have sound on. I don't have sound on. Hang on. You should be able to hear now. Is this
Well,
funny?
hello there, buddy. Are you lost?
That's kind of funny. This is Sora, yeah. It looks pretty realistic. I mean, like, well, that's not funny.
Hi, I am Pibble. Wash my belly. Uh-oh.
Yeah, those weren't very funny. But yeah, it is pretty impressive. I mean, you can still tell, obviously. Something like you know, like the physics kind of thing, like how things move and how people walk and stuff. You know, like this guy
Well,
walking in,
hello there, buddy. Are you?
just the way he moves. So surreal. Yeah, part of it, like it looks very impressive. It's definitely gets a lot better. Like you look at the Will Smith eating spaghetti from like 2 years ago or whatever, if you're familiar with that. Crazy stuff. We live in a society for sure. I've seen a lot of Sora videos and they're so realistic and unrealistic. Yeah, yeah. There's been a handful of videos that I've seen where it's like that could be AI and it could not be, and I can't really tell. But it's not like not with like people, you know, doing stuff or talking or anything. You know, it's like those ones where they're cutting cake or something like that. You know, you know what I mean. So it's not at the point now where it's photorealistic per se. Didn't assume that was funny. Oh, okay. Well, it said funny, so that's why I made the comment on it because it said it's funny AI compilation. Right? It says top 5 funniest videos. Okay, so we'll get the data, print it out. What else needs to go into the TUI? So that's really it. We'll need a function for, yeah, so this would also, we'll need a switch based on the mode, you know, so we'll have a mode for a feed mode. We're reviewing the feed. And then we'll have one for where we're viewing a post or a comment. I think we can reuse the same mode for either one, just with some extra information with it. So your younger brother feeding you the latest stuff from TikTok? Well, I have 3 younger brothers, so like there's Fireboy, which Stanley's familiar with, or he knows about him. He's 2 years younger than me. And then I have some others, which I won't say their exact age, but they are quite a bit younger. Um, so they know like the younger stuff, and then in your family you're supposed to be that guy. Um, just so happens you're the youngest. Yeah, yeah. I don't watch TikTok really, so I don't know, or YouTube Shorts or anything like that. So, but I still hear about this stuff. Some of it is from my brothers, and other stuff it's like you see it on Twitter or whatever. It's really I use Twitter and YouTube are the social medias that I use. My bubble tea, it's been pretty good so far. Probably done with the development part for this stream. So the next stream, we'll be focusing on fixing up the client and then actually calling to it here. And then we'll do that stuff I was talking about with the modes. Yeah, so it's like we're making a text editor again. It's got modes. You type. Gonna be cooked. Fireboy goat. True Canuck. Gonna be cooked when you get kicked out of the house and become a vibe cooker. A vibe cooker? How does that work? You ask. Man, I gotta try that. You ask ChatGPT for recipes? Whoops, whoops. Hey, ChatGPT. Can you give me recipe ideas? Vibe chef. I haven't heard of this. Quick meals, healthy options. We want something fancy but cheap. Oh, ask what do you do next? Okay. Wait, hang on, let me start a new chat. And whoa, we can't leak the chats. Hold on. How do you close this? Stupid website doesn't work at all. There we go. Maybe off on the spot because you're off. Can you ask it to draw in? Well, hang on, we'll try that, but we'll do. I am cooking food. Don't ask why. I just put oil in the pan and then turn the stove on. What should I do next? And I want to try this and see what. Check if it's hot enough. Once it's hot, add the main ingredients. Yes, what ingredients should I add? Okay, yeah, that could work. All right, wait, draw in. Draw. Yeah, let's see. Draw a glass full of wine. Oh yeah, because it can't. I've seen this. Build your own TUI framework for Golang. Yeah, I thought about doing it, but I wanted to try bubble tea out, so I won't use any of the extra stuff, like lip gloss and stuff. Just the bubble tea, and then whatever I can do there. But it works fine enough, so I'm just gonna use that. You already built one and see. Yes, yes, of course. For it to Golang, that's a good idea. You can call C pretty easily, so you just need the wrappers for it. Takes a long time. Yeah, yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah, I can't do a full glass wine. I've seen this. Silly AI. Why does it take so long? Oh, okay. Now fill it to the brim with wine. It should not have any clear left. Uh, High quality takes a long time. Yeah. Just wine. I make changes. No, I did not. Okay. Yeah, so done with the coding part for today. Now I'm just gonna mess around for like 10 minutes and then end the stream. Hey, it worked. I thought it can't do this. It didn't do it first try, but it worked. I didn't know this was possible. Now make the line green. Frick. Uh, yeah, it did. It was fully full. Bro, what? They fixed it. I think this means it's over. We've achieved AGI. Make the line glass, not the just line below. A wine stack overflow, yes. What? This is amazing. AGI is real. It's even got the. That's pretty cool. I'm going to DM Sam Altman. Okay, close enough. Now give it over ears. Dr. Max into that wine? I don't know what this means. What is Dr. Max? Who is that? there a way to speed it up? Mm, takes a long time. It's pretty impressive though. It looked very nice. It's interesting that it changed the glass shape. Not between these two. Well, maybe a little. It's hard to tell. Not really. It's like it's mostly just the shadow. Yes, another data center. Yes. There we go. Okay, that looks good. And then I'll give it something else. Eager clothing. Isn't that Shrek ears? Yes. That's the idea. We're trying to make Shrek. Shrek 1. Shrek into that wine and let him sink. Let that sink in. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to turn it into Shrek, but as a wine glass. Put Shrek into. Oh, I just read that. There we go. Okay. It gave him a full body though, but the head is still the wine thing. So that data center used water to cool itself. Didn't it just turn water into? Whoa, that is crazy. Turn water into wine. Well, we're doing miracles. Oh, what? Why is it gone? It's against the content policies to make Shrek. Against the content policies. Maybe it's like copywritten. Making ogres. I didn't say Shrek, right? I never said Shrek. I said ogre. I didn't say best area dinner. Generate it without violating the content policy. I want to see it. It just convinced itself into that. What is this? Charm stuff? What is that? I got distracted. Is it going to work this time? This is experience you had generating 2D platformer sketches for fun, and it made Mario, and it was really. See, so it changed the ear shape so it doesn't look as similar to Shrek, I guess. Worst part, oh, I didn't read this part. The worst part is when it says certainly, and then it makes the same mistake. Yeah. Okay. Well, this sucks. You can't even make Shrek. I'm trying to think of something else to generate, but I don't have anything. Generate an image of what it would look like if the West crab and the Golden Gopher have a shot. Certified Shrek hater. True. Guess I'll find coding and going. No, we won't do that. I'm going to see what this generates. Because I don't know if you've seen that image. What is it? Dressed in a suit, just laid off his. Okay, I'm going to do this. I do want to see what this generates, but then I'll ask that. Let me do I've seen this somewhere. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Yeah, where it's like that. I want it to generate something like this. Okay, that's pretty simple. Not exactly what I was going for, but good enough. Let me see what this can do. I don't know if it'll know what Berber Hannafin is. I don't know how to say it. I can't do that. Okay, so it doesn't do that. That's horrible. Mm, yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. So what was the prompt? Is the prompt for Bur Bur and what prompt did they use to generate? Mm, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Okay, there we go. I want to see how similar this looks. Generate. The secret wall of text, yes. Changing the stream title to not mislead people. If it can generate that, then I'll use it to do the other prompt. Riveting stuff. I like this. I don't know why it's gone across though. Why does it look grainy though? Like why doesn't it just generate with a solid color? It's always grainy. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't know if you can really see it on the stream, but it's just I'm sure you know what I mean if you generated images before, but it's all slightly different colors. Like it's noisy. Ooh, okay. That's pretty good. An image of a caveman shocked at Italian grandma. No, I don't think that will work. Generate, generate this one. See, that's close enough. So, Grust. Yes, Grust. That's genius, actually. I should make a language called Grust. Huh? Do that value. Why can't it do that? Can't generate people looking sad? Aw, can't generate images. Generate it as ASCII art. Wow, this sucks. ASCII art of Grust, more like gross, true. Gross, that's a good name. ASCII art of okay, I'm gonna see how that looks. What the heck is this? This is a dog. It's not a monkey at all. All the fun with the wrong guardrails. True. They used all my image generating. This was pretty good though. This one worked pretty well. It's not exactly right, but it's close enough. So you can only generate 7 images. Fair enough. Or did the other ones count? Where it generated half of it and then gave up? I wonder. Why did it generate a dog though? This isn't a monkey at all. It's something else. Right? An AI chatbot in Rust that is full AGI, no mistakes. No native AGI. It's thinking, so it's gonna work. Wait, this just calls to OpenAI? Bro. That's not what I wanted. The guy from YouTube who has a penguin from the Madagascar cat cartoon? No, it is not. Nobody can. Whoa. Can't make full AGI. Nobody can. So it's not real. Confirmed. We've confirmed this. AGI is not real and it never will happen. Rust sucks. Rewrite it in JavaScript. Call myself so because you are an operator. Operator user at that's a good reason. See, I like that. Script suck. Rewrite it in train. COBOL. Will it do it? Will it write it in COBOL? Expecting. Yeah, I gotta go in a minute. AGI-ish. Yeah, it has to call to C. Interesting. Wow, this is what COBOL looks like. I've never used it. Okay. Stand because you played a game when you were a kid and we called resources mats as materials. Oh wow, okay. Lore, the lore is coming up. Very cool. .com. I should make a COBOL compiler. They call it COB. See? That's a good idea. COB COBOL. 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 Interesting. Interesting. There was water running, sorry about that. Cowbell. No, not cowbell. That's something entirely different. Okay. Cowbell go. No. Alright, I've got to go now. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.